Hi, I'm Kara-Leah from the Yoga Lunchbox, and I'm author of this book, 40 Days of Yoga, Breaking Down the Barriers to a Home Yoga Practice. This week I want to talk about the whole concept of 40 days. So people often ask me, what's with the 40 days? Why 40 days? And in some ways it's an arbitrary number. It could be 39, it could be 42. It doesn't really matter a huge amount. And yet it is also crucially important. So I took 40 days from Kundalini Yoga, which uses specific lengths of time to do a kriya or a practice. They start with a minimum of 40 days, so there's a 40-day practice, a 90-day practice, 120 and 1,000 days. So 40 days helps you to really ingrain something into your psyche. It starts to make it a habit, and when you do it every single day for 40 days, it becomes much harder to stop. New research looking at the way that our brains work and the way that neurological patterns get laid down suggests that perhaps it takes a little bit longer to really ingrain a pattern, like maybe around 60 days, but it used to be around 40 days was the idea. The other thing with 40 days is it's longer than a calendar month, okay, so it's like an extra 10 days approximately, give or take. It's about a moon cycle and a half. And what I've found personally, when I do a 40-day practice, there's a certain rhythm or cycle that happens. I've found that usually, not always, but usually around the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 mark, that's when the strongest resistance arises. It seems that that's when the actual practice is really starting to sink in and layers are getting burnt off, and any kind of fears that might have been hiding away or emotions that might have been hiding away, they start to come towards the surface at that point. And for me, because emotions surfacing is about feelings, that's when resistance kicks in, because my habitual pattern is not wanting to feel the emotion. The yoga's bringing the emotion up, so part of me is like, no, stop doing the yoga. So that's when the strongest resistance will hit. Once you get past that sort of over the middle hump into day 22, day 23, if you've worked through the resistance and you've gone around that obstacle, there's a sense of, wow, I can do this. I've got to a place I've never been before. But you've only just got there, right? And you need more time to really embed into it. Something happens around day 33 to 36 too, sort of a sense of complacency will often arise. Oh yeah, I got this down, man, I'm on the home stretch, it's just another week to go. And occasionally, once, I dropped the ball on day 36. Like I literally forgot to practice. And I'd had a couple of glasses of wine, it was 9 o'clock, and I was in bed, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't practiced. But because I'd had a couple of glasses of wine with dinner, I didn't feel like I could get out of bed and do my practice. So on day 36, dropped the ball, and I had to start again the next day, not at day 36, day 31. And this is the other crucial aspect about 40 days. It is 40 days in a row. So if you miss a day, even if it was day 39, you start the next day on day 1. And there are 2 reasons for this. First is you're laying down neurological patterning in your brain. So doing something every single day is laying that pattern down. It becomes a habit. It becomes something you don't have to think about. It becomes something you almost start to crave doing each day. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 for being so vigilant on that is that when you know psychologically missing a day means going back to day 1, you are far less likely to miss the day because there is a consequence. If you knew that you could miss the day and then just do the day again tomorrow and be on that same day, there wouldn't be a consequence, and your mind, sneaky as it is, would be like, yeah, nah, it's alright, we'll just miss today, we'll start again tomorrow on day 36. And so you would be far less committed, right? Consequence, commitment, that's the key. And this is why it's so important that you do every single day in a row. If you miss a day, you start again at day number 1. It's a really simple tool, but it's highly effective. If you want to embed yoga into your daily life, this is the book for you. 40 Days of Yoga, Breaking Down the Barriers to a Home Yoga Practice. And I take you through, using worksheets, all of these little tips, tricks and tools of the trade that make the difference between doing yoga for a couple of days and then kind of forgetting and then like, oh yeah, I'll come back to it, and then it's been a couple of months, or doing yoga every single day and loving it, rocking it, feeling the benefits. If you want to be that, maybe this book would be of help to you. I'm Kara-Leah from the Yoga Lunchbox. This is 40 Days of Yoga. Always a pleasure.